Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Reginald Hamilton is the proprietor of Regie's Herbal and Tea House on Pelican Street in Belize City. Hamilton prides himself on providing a healthier lifestyle for Belizeans. He told our Belize Watch team that he is bringing back traditional herbal teas, featuring over 40 different tasty teas along with their prevention and healing values to the body. We will have our visit to Reggie's Herbal and Tea House after we hear from our partners, the Barry, Shell Belize Limited, Honorable Kevin Bernard, and the Belize Tourism Board.
The people of Santa Marta had a chance to voice their concerns and shape the future of their village with Honorable Kevin Bernard's recent consultation.
I want to thank each and every one of you who came out today to voice your concerns and to address the many issues raised today at our Santa Marta consultation and clinic day. We discussed very critical issues including land, health, education, road infrastructure, which are all important matters that we can address together. And I am committed to ensuring that we can move Santa Marta forward.
Yo le doy las gracias porque siempre él ha estado para nosotros.
Está claro que estamos viendo el trabajo que nuestro honorable Kevin Bernard está haciendo en nuestra aldea.
Honorable Kevin Bernard is a dedicated public servant who is committed to improving the lives of his constituents. He has a proven record of delivering results and fighting for the people he represents. Thank you, Honorable Kevin Bernard, for your leadership and for being a voice for the people of Santa Marta. Together, we can build a better future for all of us.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
Savor every moment.
Experience our country. Go the extra mile.
And just dive in.
We are Belizean travelers. Are you?
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Belize.
It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
I'm with Reginald Hamilton, and Reginald Hamilton is the owner. He's also the founder of Reggie's Herbal and Tea House. Have that correct, Reggie?
That is correct.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, Reggie, thanks for having me here in your tea house, your herbal and tea house, and let's say that it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here. I have spoken to you, I know, from times past, and just recently, I think you were about to attend a major conference on herbal remedies for the body, right?
Well, you got that right, Mr. Rene. I am not as media friendly, but still media friendly because I see you get me 2 times within 2 weeks. Yes, that is right. It is Regie Herbal and Tea House. been in existence for over some 29, 30 years, from 1982 there back. I have been working with the government. I did 8 years working with the government. Prior to that, I moved on and I started my own business back in 91. There was a retrenchment within the government system. I was a public servant, and being that there was, I sight the retrenchment coming, I moved off like a year before the retrenchment. So it was then my business have started in 1989, 1991, thereabout, and until now it is still running.
Okay. But I like when I do these shows, Regie, to find out exactly where you're coming from, right? So I want to go way back, as I always do, right? Way back to Reginald Hamilton when he came into this world. Tell me about your parents, where were you born, and what was it like growing up where you grew up?
Mr. Renee, the beginning of Regie is back some 56 years ago. In fact, I would put 9 months on top of that and call it 57 because we have our age when we born, but the conceivement have took place before then. It was 9 months plus 56. Yeah. So I was not born at the Belize City Hospital. Back in those days, it was the Belize City Hospital that you give birth. Other than that, it would have been a midwife. A midwife, Nurse Kelly. She was the one that delivered me. Nurse Kelly, yeah. She is dead and gone now. She was the one that delivered me at number 36 Barak Road. So my birthstone is at 36 Barak Road. When I pass 36 Barak Road, my hair usually raise. Yeah. But slipping along, I have been the third of 7 child. My mother had 7 of us for one father. It was four girls and 5 boys. 4 girls and 3 boys. That make me be the third of the family. And then my mother married, so that make me be the first of wedlock. Prior to my title, my first brother and sister, they go with Lam, but I come with Hamilton. So I was the third of 7, and I went to Wesley Primary all the way through. My mother liked Wesley. I like khaki. So she put us to that school, and she was a single parent. She did single parent for us from since I was 12. My dad and my mom was together for some good years, but from since I was 12, she had done the work of a mother and a father. And then my father went missing, and so there was it. She was doing this all alone. So we raised up. I raised up and come through the high school, through the primary school, and went on to the high school, Wesley College. My mother couldn't have afforded to do the best for us, and so it was a struggle. And she managed to...
She couldn't afford it to give you what she might have wanted to give you, but she gave you the best that she could have given you.
That is
to try to fix it up for you already.
Yeah, but she gave us, and most importantly, she have instilled values in us, because we understand that it was she that alone. And I didn't really understand as much then as I understand much now, because she used to wash and iron, and she used to sell bolida for a living. And when she come home, we have our chores, she leave her chores to do, and we had to do that, and we take turns. And little do I know, I steal a commission for, all of us took turn and steal a commission. That makes her working very hard, or even harder. And yeah, the money that she earned.
Oh, so you used to take her money?
Yeah, we used to steal it, and it was a bad thing. It was just being mischievous, like a kid coming up, you know. And, you know, time progressed, we end up, all of us gone through school, and I end up going to Wesley College. I discontinued Wesley College because I had flunked Wesley College because of following friends. And I went further, transferred my studies to Excelsior High. That was then I moved over to Excelsior because it was a school emerged for like people that, you know, it's like a second opportunity school. And I went through that school from second form until fourth form. Come out from there, second to the Valley Victorian, and continue doing my work. This time now it changed, the table changed. My mom go to work, and she go and do laundry for the bat sub. And I stayed behind, and every time when I'm out from work, I get a job, a little messenger job at Public Work, and every time I come from work, I stay behind and do the bolito selling in the evening. When she come from work, she take it over from me, and that type of thing. But all through that time when I was a little boy, I was selling in a little shop it, because she had created a little shop it for us to do turns inside the shop, selling fruits and vegetable, getting up early in the morning. And she have us doing a task of greater 25 coconut each to make coconut oil for selling. You see, so I come up in the area where business is connected or belongs. And so we get an idea that even so, I understand much business after I have given away like about a whole bunch of banana for only 25 cents, not understanding how to work business and do in the shop. And after that, I learned a lesson, because I get we would say quamming from my mom. Because the man come and ask for 25 cents banana, and I tell her 2 for 25 cents. But every time I give him 2, he said 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, until a whole bunch of banana was gone. And then my mom said she had a lot of money in the cash, and she didn't have a lot of money. She just had about $1 change in the cash. So I understand what it was to do things like that, and not understanding the cash and running and things like that. Stepping along, we have grown up, and all of us come out of school. She couldn't have afford to put all of us to high school, and so the few of us that went did completed, like about 4 of us out of the 7 did completed, and the others have not completed.
Yeah. So after Excelsior, what happened after Excelsior?
Yeah, after Excelsior, I started to venture into business. I love business, and I did business at my school, and that was what was my practice before going to Excelsior. And so I decided I want to own my own business. This is good. This is the best thing for me. This time now, instead of stealing my mom money, I need to make some money and give it to her, because I tired of seeing her working very hard and cannot meet up to the demands of the family and things like that. My brother used to go out, and he used to sell the report and the mandala and different things, and he come with the pocket change, sell the bottle and all of that, and then I'm staying home asking him for money. I need to get out there. So I get up and I started my own business, and I work at Public Works, started my own business, and then I work in the evening time helping out my mom, and then eventually I decided that I need to take over this business and give her a rest, because she have already instilled values in me. I understand the way of a business. It's no longer I'm little, I need to help her. And so I work tirelessly to see that she get a little ease of tension.
So you took over the fruit shop?
Right. And then I started to sell fruits and veggie. And then after that, I started to bring in a little Cersei, a little Billy Webb, a little Boy Job, a little Strong Back, and people come and they get their fruits and their veg, and they go along, and they buy different herbs that I sell. I just sell them loose. I love the herbs, and I sell it loose. My grandmother used to babysit us sometimes when my mom worked out, and she was the one that I really I could say portray or follow, because she used to give me the runs to go and buy the paragaric, go and buy the this, and she was a midwife, and she wanted me to go and do the runs for her, and then when I come back, then then she would teach me a little thing or two, and all when the baby head limber and so forth. So I pretty much aware of the drugstore medicine and all that. Now this I'm tapping now away from the drugstore medicine, and I'm going to do my own traditional medicine, and so I see that very exciting. It was a learning process.
How old were you when you were experiencing all of this you're talking about?
I was between per se 21 to 28, thereabout, between 21 and 28 years of age. And now I have become a young man, and I wanted to venture this work. So I get into it, and it went very, very well for me.
Earlier, Regie, you told me you're working with the government of Belize. Now, how did that fit into the story you're giving me of your growing up?
Well, going to school was a fact, because my mom wanted us to go to school. But after coming out from school, I graduated with a high school diploma, and I had to go do a messenger job. And so I worked with that messenger job for 2 years, and then I was promoted to second-class clerk at the Public Works Department. This was unallocated stores. I cannot forget under the UDP administration at one time, Hubert Harrington, Melvin Hulse. Yeah, and I worked that job, and I had to work that job and come home from work in the evening, and then go back in the morning, help my mom in the evening with the little bolito selling and the shop. So I was
the shop
I was working inside the shop at evening time and going to work in the daytime. And so that worked out for me. And then the business started to progress. And that was a big ease for my mom, because when she come from work, she could go home, take a bath, and then she come out and meet me at the shop. Then she take over. It's like a relay. I turn over the baton to her. But we were at the point where I was explaining about the work, the work away from public work, the work and the inception of my work. When
you left the Public Works Department, or what happened there?
Yeah, well, actually, I see the time had rise for me to transfer and move out all on my own, and leave government work and just do my own business, making my own money. So that's when I started, and I told you that I sell all of these herbs, and then I added certain things, and it progressed. And I started fruits and vegetables, and then I go to herbs, and then eventually I gone to seeing the new intervention taking shape. That's the teas of the herbs and some of the bark, they go to waste, and then I need to grab these leaves and turn them into teas, and so that's where the tea house comes in place. And so I did the Regie's Herbal and Tea House. I let go the fruits and the veg because it was perishable, and I didn't have a farm. And I let that go. And I used
to get vegetables and fruits.
I had to buy and sell the vegetable at the market.
Okay, go to the market, buy vegetables and fruits, and then you resell them.
And then I resell it, and I see that wasn't doing good because I don't have a farm to do this, so I need to venture into the herbal industry full time. And I decided to grab the leaves them from wasting and do the herbs, the herbal products. And I didn't know much of what I was doing, but I sit down and I said that this is the work that I want to do. And I don't want to go nowhere else. I don't want to work for no one else. If I have to make $1 for the day, I am good to go. I am going to make sure that I could buy one pack of bread to survive and eat. But this is where I want to grow into. Then when I go to the market with my mom in the morning time and to try to find herbs and so on, different people that comes and sells, I went to this lady, Aunt Barbara, if you could remember her. She's Fernandez, Barbara Fernandez. She was at the Queen Square Market. She was at the big market, and she used to sell her the little hot herbs and teas in the warm farm right at the market. And I understudied her, and she told me, "You gonna be a healer." I didn't know what exactly I was going to be. I just wanted to do the medicine. And then there was a Belize Day. I don't know if you can remember, Mr. Rene, but a Belize Day was always behind Major Robert Health Center. This lady, Janice Bain, was the founder of the Belize Herbal Day. And every year they used to have it annually. And that's when I meet the greatest healer ever Belize seen, Mr. Pantin. Yeah, because I took all the display. Yeah, down in Leo Pantin. And I took a display, and he said, like, thank you, because he didn't brought out any display. He's recognized, and then the herbs there. So I took out what he needed to have demonstrated and so on. And I met him. And every year I go, that's when I meet Hortense, I meet Aunt Barbara, I meet all of these healers, and then I stick to that herb there, and I was thankful about the herb day, the organizers, Miss Janice Bain, and I would like to would have had that continuous.
So who became your teachers, teaching you to do the herbs and whatnot in the correct way?
And I stick to Aunt Barbara, and my grandmother have given me some knowledge about the natural medicine and remedies, and then I stick with Aunt Barbara for some times, and I studied her and learned a lot of things from her, and I started grasping, and I believe with the energy and the input, me wanting to do this, me seeing that my energy taking me somewhere, I believe, to me, I would say it's a gift, but I didn't know how to receive it really. And then my grandmother died, and she sent for me, and then it was a disconnection for a minute, and then I stayed at the work. I stayed at the work, and I stayed at the work, and I started to grow the business and grow the business and grow the business. And Barbara, she was very instrumental in seeing me, doing the work, because this time some of her family don't want to come around and spend a lot of time inside the shop with her at the markets, and so I go and help her with little things and get little things for her and do little things with her, and yeah, and so
earlier you told me, Reggie, you said that you were not really concerned on where your next bite of or next meal would come from, because really you wanted to launch out and work on your own. Did you develop a family in this process, or were you on your own? Did you have the support of a wife or something?
Yes, that was the inception of my business, and I decided that I need to put myself together and work family like everybody do. You have your flirting stage, your life, you'll get all of your sado god, your admirers and different things. And I had this one young lady that I was seeing. Her name is Charlotte. She was Miles, family to, if you could remember, one Mr. Lennox Miles. He used to work at the housing, and I used to do class and public work, and I met her, and she had 3 children for me. She had my oldest boy get an opportunity to go to the US, and I was coming back, but sometimes they said when you go to America when you're young, you're not come back. So all that had her in her mind was that I wasn't going to come back. But I come back, and I saw my first son come forth, and then she have a second son for me, and a daughter for me. So she have 3 child for me. Was working around with relationship and so on, and just like it goes, sometimes you spin too hard when you play marbles, you spin out of the ring, and that type of thing, and you want to run because you're very young and masculine and have a lot of strength and so on, and so I ventured into seeing other people and had to relax myself after some times, because that moving around had brought me to different relationship, and I have a son that I have outside of the tree with one person, and then I have a daughter that is in Punta Gorda when I go to Punta Gorda to work, and then I have a son after that. So but in between the 6 children, I took 20 years to really try to soul search and try to find out where am I. You just making children. So I decided that I'm going to take like 20 years break before the last 2. I had the 4, 3 plus 1, and then I take a long break, 20 years, before I had the 8 years old. As my baby at the time was 28, and then this one just born when she was 28, and she's 8. She was like 20 years, and then now she's 8, and then my baby at the time was 20, and now she's 28, and then the daughter is 8. So I take a 20 years break from those type of thing, relationship, and sticking it out with one person. The thing is that I didn't see eye to eye. Those women that have children for me, all of them were good for me, but I didn't put on that brakes.
You never did get married, then?
Yeah.
That's what
I didn't get married, yeah, right. Okay. And I didn't put on the brakes, and for reason
you're a loner today.
Yeah, I'm a loner, but but that was just
that's your life, Thanks for sharing it. That was up to you.
I know it's been different because my son that I have right now, he's not here right today, but he's my junior from the first relationship, and he's the one that get up after working about 4 different jobs, even working at KHMH at one time. He's the one that get up and said, I'm going to give you a hand. I'm going to help you with the business. I want to help you with the business. And so he become the assistant cutter, or the person that cuts for me now. He's the cutter now, because at that time when he come and joined me, it was just like about 2 years back. And then he started to do the work with me, and I try to, pass over the work to him and make him knowledgeable and try to teach him the basic of life and the basic of the business. Okay. So
Over the years, Reggie, you start to qualify yourself in the herbal area field, the field that you're in now. You start to qualify yourself. Talk to me about some of the courses you took and so on.
Okay, well, our FDA is the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, which is BAHA, and those are the person that see it goes well for human consumption when it comes to getting anything certified for human consumption. And so instrumentally, I sell the herbs, I clean the herbs and get it ready for shipping. I sells it and sometimes sells it to people that goes to the United States and all of this. And I have to go to them to present these things. So I have to make the herbs properly, travel friendly, so that it meet the requirements of the quarantine. This time, WTO, WHO, they have standard, and standard is lifted, and so Caribbean countries have to buy onto standards and so on. So you have to take anything that you want to send. If you want in a bundle of seriously, you have to carry it to the Baja and then do the inspection for it and make sure you don't have no seed, because seeding is out of it. And then you have to be properly sun-dried and things like that. And so I learned a lot of that. I went and do a little crash course with them. And if you can note, there's a certificate on the wall right there that I get from Baja. Is for labeling and nutrition. It was a training course in nutrition and labeling. And then I continue my work and I continue my studies, and the work never end. It always there. The thing is that I wanted to do the work, and so helping out someone is always my job. It's my daily duty. It's my job of helping out someone. I want to see that you come to me and you get the best of health, and that is why I'm saying that I'm at this desk, but I am tasked to make sure that you are healthy. That's my task, because I want to make sure that when you come to me, you just don't come to me and you go living with a problem and you can't remain the same way as you come. It's because that I am not worthy of whatever I'm doing. I'm not doing the job to the best of my ability. That's how I see it. See, so when people come to me, I want to make sure that they get result. And so it brings me to say that I went to a niche. And I have a certificate with niche, another certificate. It was a certificate in what I would call culture, certificate in culture, whereby they wanted to bring policy in place for different culture and so forth. And it's a thing that the government at the day, they have policies and so on. And so if you want to do things the right and proper way, you have to work with the government that have this policy in place. And, government comes and goes. And that's why on the radio, when I went on the radio with you at one time, I said that it is raining now, because then after doing the work and picking up certain things from Niche, from Baja, going away for the government for the very first time to form this traditional healing association. It was like it's raining, because I see government come and go and they put policies in place and things change the shape after a different one comes in, and things just go like that. And I see me like I'm wasting my time and I'm not going nowhere. And people is accessing me. The business is growing. And, and I have the Forest Gardener Certificate Award there that I can, I get that from same Miss Lucia Ellis. She had a foreign gardener program. Yeah. And so,
what about this one here from the Universidad Intercultural Maya de Quintana Roo y el Colegio de Médicos de Quintana Roo? They give you a sort of accreditation there to Reginald Hamilton. What's
that one was just recent. That was the trip that was prior to the interview that you did with me. We went to Mexico, to Jose Maria Morelos. And we, as healers, we had the government at the day again, they have decided and selected, the organizers, meaning with the government, have selected 4 healers to go away, a Mayan, a Creole, a Garifuna, and a Mestizo. they're targeting the four ethnic group that Belize has in particular. There are other groups and so on that migrate and so on, but they're targeting the groups. And so we went to that conference. It was the first ever traditional healing conference. And we went to that conference, and coming out away from that conference, it was very educational, I must say. And the government took care of us and have us stay and have us meals, and everything was quite in order. And coming out from that conference, everybody do their presentation, and they had a PowerPoint presentation. Everybody do their little PowerPoint, and I'm not into technology like that, but if I had turned over my information to somebody that knows much about technology more than I could have worked a PowerPoint too. But so I was wondering, like, how am I going to present? I don't know how to do this, but I understand what I'm doing, and I have raw material here. So I have to do this. So I did a fly presentation. It was simply, the description of that was simply to acknowledge the Creator as first, and then He have set all these things on the earth. We are in the middle as His children, and then acknowledging that the earth exists and what the earth has to offer us, and what role traditional medicine plays within our culture, within our little community, within the world, And so that was the physical demonstration that I put off for my presentation. And of course, I did my assignment, and I did write a wonderful letter to go with that. And when that was finished, I was well received, because I've had feel that I was outplaced, and I had feel that, well, I am all the way back up, and way the bottom of this pit, where am I going? So, but it works out very well, and they liked my presentation. And what I realized is that these people are far advanced ahead of us, but they don't have issues. Like, if you see there is someone productive and someone want to go somewhere, they would not lift him up and give him exactly everything that he needs, but give him some attention and try to facilitate in some way, so that whatever he's thinking, whatever he's good at, he will receive. Try to give him some attention, so that he can make the world or the place that he lives, the space that he lives in, better, so that the knowledge that he has can be transferred from one person to another, and things like that. So that was well received, and I like how these people are organized. At one time, I said that I would want to stay and don't come back to my country, but what? I would never do that. No, but I would never do that for my country's sake, because I love my country, and I want to see my country shine. So that, in my mind, was just how I see them already. But they had their turn of going through what they have gone through to reach where they are.
They
so I
you.
need to go.
You were impressed. You were very, very impressed.
But I would not ever give up my country, because I love my country. In fact, for 30 years, I have not traveled. From 1989 until now, and I believe that healer is supposed to travel the world.
You gain experience.
The experience I will gain, and the time will come for that. That's what I said, and that's why I stood my ground and I stayed here.
But Reggie, walk me through this now. I want to consult with you, and I walk in through this door, right? I come to see Regie at Regie's Herbal and Teas, right? And I come for a consultation. Walk me through the process from beginning to end. What happens when I walk in here?
Very simple and easy. First, you have my number, or you don't have my number.
You really could give your number if you feel like.
I can say that I normally do what you call marketing, self-marketing. I move around with maybe 100 of my cards all the time in my vehicle. Everywhere I go, you don't have to ask me for a number. I'm going to give it to you. My number is 627-501, 627-5985. And I have a second number, it's 501-615-5365. Those are my two numbers. So when you come, it's because you have received that I have a number and you want to see me.
Where to find you?
You
No,
know
no, I
where to
can't see
find
you.
me. I'm at 7025 Pelican. I have relocated this business about 3 times. I was at Raccoon Street and I moved on to the Boulevard, and then I went to Punta Gorda for 5 years, and I come back to the city and I come back and hold my ground right at my very home residence, right inside the backyard of Khaled. And so 7025 Raccoon Street is my remaining ground, and my remaining ground to stay and no longer relocate.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you have my number, you come in for consultation. First of all, it's a free consultation.
The consultation is free.
It's a free consultation. You can talk to me about yourself and your health, and then I'm going to direct myself very professional and say what I can do for you, or what I can refer, who I can refer you to, or what I can refer for you to see, who I can refer for you to see, and things like that. If I cannot do it, then there must be someone that I know that can do it. And so when you come into me and say, for argument's sake, you have one headache,
that doesn't want to go.
that don't want to go. I don't know what's wrong with you. So I want to say this, and I say this categorically, that I do work from what you call a doctor diagnosis. You have to go to doctor. The doctor is there.
You would send me to the doctor
I would advise you never to treat, never to take anything if you don't understand exactly what is wrong.
So let me understand. If someone comes to see you, you don't diagnose them and say, this is what you need. You will tell them, go and see a doctor, and a medical doctor, and establish what really is wrong with you. That's what you do.
Exactly that's what I'm saying. If you come and you have a headache, it's a case of an emergency. This headache just come on by you, then I just can't treat you because I do not know what happened to you.
Not if I tell you I've been having the headache since, 3 months ago, and it just comes and goes.
I still need for you to get a diagnosis. The purpose of that diagnosis.
What diagnosis you would send me?
The purpose of that diagnosis. Go and see the internal doctor. See the doctor for the brain. Yeah, and see what is wrong. The doctor gonna tell you, well, maybe they might have pill, I don't know. And maybe take this and see what will happen, but we're gonna run some tests, because you just can't just know exactly what happened. So they go run the test, and when the tests come back, you go back to see the doctor. Maybe the headache gone with the pill that the doctor give you, maybe not. And maybe it goes off and on, I don't know. But you go to the doctor and they give you a little result, and you come back and you say, the doctor said that, listen to me, this is how it happened to me, this is how it happened to me. No, you're the point with me.
Okay.
You have been diagnosed.
Okay.
And when you have been diagnosed, now I could use my experience and my knowledge to help you with natural medicine.
Yeah.
There are natural medicine for you to do or for you to take, but you have the right and the privilege to do so. But what I'm trying to get at is that we are trying to get off of being self-diagnosed and self-administer.
See, yeah. Let me understand again. The doctor, the medical doctor, will identify what, through the tests that are normally done at hospitals, would identify what is wrong with me. But wouldn't he be prescribing pills and commercial medicine that's available at drugstores and that kind of thing?
Yes, and that's what exactly the doctor is supposed to do. Now, I am the bush doctor. In reverse of that, when you get diagnosed, now when you come to me, I will see what the doctor have diagnosed. And because of my knowledge and my experience, I would go to you and do an interview. It's an LI. It's an interview between me and you. You have the right and the privilege to direct yourself, and you decide that you want to go with natural remedies, but you want to make sure that you are in target with whatever you are about to receive. You want to understand that you have this right and this privilege, but you want to get something that is natural over taking the doctor medication. So I have to do an interview to know where you are in order for me to know where I need to take you. And I need to take you healthwards forward to better your health or your situation.
So the doctor gives me X pills, right? You would provide the herbal equivalent of what that X pill might have? Something like that? Am I understanding it that way?
That is definitely the understanding. But I cannot do so unless I analyze your situation. You see, in the case of a diagnosis, things is analyzed based upon testing. In the case of me analyzing certain situation and arresting certain situation, this only can be followed from a diagnosis, the doctor saying that this is wrong, and then I forward doing an interview with you to find out what is wrong. No, the first...
What sort of questions you'll ask me in the interview?
No, the first thing I need for you to do, the first thing I need to know is what caused your problem that exists. Are you a part of your problem? Your lifestyle is conducive to the problem. Check the risk factors of the problem. And then after I see that you have this in place and that is place and you're conducive to certain things, then I'll say, you first need to change this, because then that's the way I refer to, people refer to it as cure, but I do not say cure, I say treat. I treat symptoms with my knowledge, and that is where I derive, that is when I derive at per se what they're saying cure. But that is giving me an understanding that this is what you're suffering from. You're in a conducive seat for this to continue on. My conclusion is that you are a part of your problem. So if you don't change this, I can treat you in vain. I can treat you over and over and over and over, and your problem will never go because you are a part of the problem. So it starts from the inception where your diet and your lifestyle is, you are responsible for it through those two courses.
So you establish that the person is responsible for the condition he or she is in.
And then if you decide to change those risk factors and those things that that you are doing that is making you conducive to your problem, and if you want a change, then you need to change that. Then I can treat you with medicine. See, I cannot just treat you with medicine. If you're in a conducive seat, like I said, you're going to go on and on and on with the same problem, repeating yourself. And then you go on and say, well, I gone to this man and he don't know way to do, because then that is what we're trying to get at. That is why it is good, it's a good thing. And I say the rain is pouring, because then the conference was all about taking natural stuff and understanding where traditional healing plays its role, and where traditional healers need to be respected and need to be not given a appraisal or be commended, but to be recognized is the thing. That they're in existence. It's not just you grab medicine and you give it or dispense it to people. No. And these are the things that I'm trying to get rid of, or trying to, I'm a hub, I'm a steering, by the way. I'm a steering for bad health. And my job is to preserve and conserve life. So anything that will discard health, I'm not with. I'm against.
No, coming in here, I see a lot of prepackaged products that you have. Can someone come here and say, I want a cold detox pack, or I want a Spanish medicine, or I want a defense tea pack, and anyone just walking off the street and just buy a pack of these without justifying to you why he or she wants or needs it?
No. I'd say no. Most of the time when people come and purchase stuff, is because they're familiar with the product. Most of the time,
question them.
Yeah, I question them. I got to question them. I don't go selling a product, traditional medicine or natural medicine, selling a product, just dispensing it to a person without understanding. I have to know and get an idea of what's the person. You have a common cold. I need to understand what is wrong. You know, I need to administer these things, but I need to understand what is wrong. You have any condition, blood problem, I need to understand what is wrong. You come in after quarter bitters, yes, you have the right and the privilege to receive it. Have no problem with that. But I need to know that after you receive it, it's going to be for good of health. It's going to be for you to not have any problem.
We have much more of our conversation with Regie Hamilton after this break to hear from our partners. The Barry, Shell Belize Limited, Honorable Kevin Bernard, and the Belize Tourism Board.
The people of Santa Marta had a chance to voice their concerns and shape the future of their village with Honorable Kevin Bernard's recent consultation.
I want to thank each and every one of you who came out today to voice your concerns and to address the many issues raised today at our Santa Marta Consultation and Clinic Day. We discussed very critical issues, including land, health, education, road infrastructure, which are all important matters that we can address together. And I am committed to ensuring that we can move Santa Marta forward.
Yo le doy las gracias porque siempre él ha estado para nosotros.
Está claro que estamos viendo el trabajo que nuestro honorable Kevin Bernard está haciendo en nuestra aldea.
Honorable Kevin Bernard is a dedicated public servant who is committed to improving the lives of his constituents. He has a proven record of delivering results and fighting for the people he represents. Thank you, Honorable Kevin Bernard, for your leadership and for being a voice for the people of Santa Marta. Together, we can build a better future for all of us.
Shell V-Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
Savor every moment.
Experience our country. Go the extra mile.
And just dive in.
We are Belizean travelers. Are you?
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Pay less.
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
Let's take the bitters, because bitters are commonly sold all over the place. People go almost anywhere and buy bitters. Can you self-medicate where bitters is concerned?
That's a tickly one. I am going to say this, that nobody cannot take away the right and the privilege that you have. But you also need to know that you need to take care of yourself. And sometimes we are not going to watch your business turn our business by telling you what to consume. So bitters they out there, and bitters they sell. But make sure that you go to a natural provider or someone that understands what they're putting together before you consume it. Why I say that is because Belizean is customary in just going and purchase a quarter bitters or a pint of bitters, and they don't know what they are consuming. And again, me coming back from this conference have impacted me much to say this, that when you consume these things, they have an acidity rise, and they have chemical composition, and you can put together something that is not for consumption. These herbs have their energy, or the properties of them, they have their energy, and it could be very acidic or more alkaline. And so if you put together something that is very acidic, and your body is already acidic, then the chances are you are making your body more acidic. So you're not working in compliance with health. For yourself, you don't know. You'd say that I want the bitters because I want to get my sexual performance, or I want get one lead push, or I want one boost, one energy boost, or I want get rid of one coal. I want so many different things they can say to you, but make sure that you go to a health provider or someone that understands what they're selling you. In this case, they're people that does the work. I am one of them. I'm in traditional medicine. My thing was general. When I went to that conference, I could not have demonstrated generally about medicine because it would take me a whole day too to demonstrate all of this knowledge that I have in me. I could have only did a fly presentation, and I didn't tap into medicine much because it would have took up too much time. But I say this to say that when you're drinking stuff, you have to know exactly what you're drinking or who is providing what you are drinking, or what you will be drinking, because it could be detrimental for human health instead of being on the reverse side, betterment for health. So you got to understand that it's not just going out there and buy one quarter bitters. Go to somebody, man, where I understand where they go on, and this is why I said the 4 healers went away. There's a Creole, there's a Garifuna, there's a Mestizo, there's a Mayan. You could find a healer within your reach. And this is what I'm saying. It's raining, and the rain need to continue to fall and fall in its proper places, because we as healers, we need to see also coming back from that association, coming back from that conference, an association form to have what you call a healers, all healers association. So you can say, okay, I'm in, for argument's sake, in Cayo. Who I can check in Cayo? Mr. Harry Guy. I'm in Belize City. Who I can check in Belize City? Regie. I am in Punta Gorda. Who I can check? Mr. Marcos or Mr. Vic. One of these healer, there needs to be a standard in place. And I'm not saying that to say that people will still not do as they will and as they like, but it'd be better for them to do this rather than just taking whatever they believe is work. And this question come up when you ask me that question, that this is, like I said, I work as a hub, and I'm trying to dismantle or trying to get rid of some of these practices that is in place that is no good for me as a healer, and is no good for people to continue do. For instance, you heard this good for that, and you hear it from 10 different person, and the 10 different person you hear that from, you're going to apply in consuming. But does you really know what really work? So you get 10 different stuff, you consume 10 different stuff, and you don't exactly know what work. So why doing so? That is very critical.
I think there's a basic principle we have to understand, right? And that I was don't understand, and that's the acidic and alkaline composition of foods and what intake is needed of each, right? So maybe you could walk us through that acidic and alkaline stuff.
Well, as a healer, I understand what preserving life is like. And if I'm in the area of preserving life, science is big. It's the study of history, it's the study of biology, it's the study of chemistry, it's the study of the world and a whole, the earth. Scientists are ponder and still search for questions and answers. And if you ask me, these herbs have been from all rainforests. They're life organism. But the herbs, the tree might have probably dead 1,000 years gone. And you still have some bark put up. But remember, in those trees, while they had life, the plants had its internal properties. And the properties is not being destroyed. The properties is right inside it until it disintegrates. And if it disintegrates, it can still be pulverized, and it can still put with water to extract potency. And so when you go to these herbs, you have to know what is the composition. These people might not really understand how to do that. It is the job of Baha.
Acidic and alkaline.
Baha would give you a test. Now, my understanding traditionally is I have a rod in my right hand, in my left hand, a short rod in my left hand, and a long rod in my right hand. And I make a pole. I demonstrate it when I went to the conference. And I make a pole. Is a left hand is the negative, the right hand is the positive. And I can check the energy level of these plants. When it's high in acid, the two pole will cross. But I have to do meditation to do this. I have to be meditating and still. I have to be concentrated. And the pole will cross. It means that the herbs, the property of the herbs is high in acid. It's very acidic. And when it opens, it means that it's more alkaline for human consumption. It's better meant for health. So when you have 3-4 herbs, very acidic, and you put them together, the composition, the chemical composition is different. It becomes bad for health. And you do not know. You do not aware of. Another thing that I do is when people comes into my shop, I have what you call a saliva test. Within 15 minutes to half an hour, I give you a strip because I need to know where you are. I ask you when last you eat. I need to understand where you are. I give you a strip and I tell you, put it on your tongue and let your saliva touch it. And then you give it me back within 15 seconds. And that will give me your composition. That will give me your balance. It will tell me if you're alkaline or acid, and I do not have to go to any doctor to do that. I give you that strip, and that strip is accurate. And it will give me the composition based on your saliva. Because our saliva tells whether you're acid base or not, or alkaline base. Or if you're within a balance, the meter is right there on the package. You can test it yourself. And that's one of the things that I do when people come to my shop before administering anything to them.
So alkaline is positive, would be positive, and acidity would be negative, to put it simply.
Right. If you want to do a marker for that purpose. But it's just to stay within balance. Not too much and not too little of acid. And alkaline.
Because you need both. You need both, right?
7.5 and above would be that you're going very acidic.
You need both.
Right. You need to retain a balance. And that balance that you have to retain is you are responsible for that. Your doctor not there at your table when you eat.
How will you maintain a balance?
Your nutrition not there at your table when you eat. Your herbalist not there at your table when you eat. That you have to coordinate.
So tell me now how I would maintain a balance. How could I maintain a balance?
My thing is that you consume things. If I remember back in the days, you have the 6 food chart. You have the 6 food group chart. Back in primary school, I remember this. Yes. Where you eat a little bit from each share. You get a little share from each group. But my description is to consume it in moderation. That's my description to really describe dosage. Consume things alternately or in moderation. Take a little bit for its purpose and let it go. So just like this have the 6 food group, you have to take a little portion from each one of these groups and do not overdo any which one of them. Because in excess of any one of them will push off a side effect. The body will get accustomed to it and then it will be bad for you. And then if the body is short of any one of them, there's a deficiency that we suffer. And the body is short of certain things for human consumption. When you go to FDA or BAHA or any one of these health organized people, they would tell you that you need to stay in striking this distance of your daily values. And what is your daily value is simply describing to you that you have to maintain a balance of not being too acidic.
How can one not be too acidic? What should I eat and what should I not eat?
Well, like I said, you need to eat that of the daily values required.
But tell me some
examples. And a portion of each of these 6 food group. And consume it in moderation. And don't go to the one them that is very acidic and continuously eating too much of that.
What are these ones? I need to break it down for me. I'll leave it.
What I would explain to you, how I would explain this to you, is that I like potato pong.
All right.
You know? Potato pong got in a lot of sugar. Yeah. But I crave potato pong. I stop me from eating my potato pong, man. I want to eat my potato pong. And I eat the potato pong, eat the potato pong, eat the potato pong, eat the potato pong, but it's too much sugar for my body.
And that's acidic, right?
You know? And too much sugar for my body, anything that is excess on my body become acid.
That's right.
That is correct. That will give me an inflammation in the blood. And that's the bacteria built up inside the blood system, and that will create other problem inside my body for health. And so when I have to the concern about, I feel good because I eat up all this potato pong, I have to concern again to that I want to spend some money because then down the road I want to feel bad about the damaging effect that I created for myself. You see? And so we want to get rid of meat again, a meat eater. People consume 3, 4, 5 loads of meat per day. The body takes 16 to 18 hours to digest one solid meat protein. And then you sit down in front of your television and you eat one load. In the day, you eat about 3 loads of meat, and then the body digests one depend on the way they go through digestion, and the next 2, 3 load of protein that you consume, you're not exercising. That is called storage. So that they build up inside your body, and that is very toxic to your body. It is toxic not only to your body, but it's toxic to the first work of the liver, the blood, which is the life. It is toxic to the blood. Just imagine your blood is toxic and your blood have to circulate through your entire body. And all these organs have to pick up the contaminated blood. And it goes wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong. And then at the end of the day, when you go to the doctor say cirrhosis of the liver. The body, the contribution is overwhelming. The organ is not functioning well because it have a contaminating blood in place. And then you have to clear up that blood, and then you have to go to the organ and treat that organ. So because one organ is down, the other organs is at labor. They're laboring. If I could remember, lot of blood conditions surface, but there's so many of them. And one of the ultimate fruit I really would like to give kudos to, the noni, that take care of over 70 different ailments having to do with the blood, but people don't like it. All right? People don't like it. They smell like crabo, they smell bad, but they're good for the blood, right? And so we have 5 major organs, in fact 6, but we don't remember the 6th organ because the 6th organ for we skin. The kidney, the liver, the lungs, the heart, and the brain. And we pay mind to them. And sometimes we don't pay mind to the kidney, the liver, the lungs, the heart, and the brain. Sometimes we don't pay mind to them. But the organ we reflect these 5 organs is the skin. Anytime things start to come out on the skin, you're in serious trouble.
So your skin okay?
Yeah, if your skin okay, you more say you could control a situation. But anytime the skin start to push it, it means that you're in serious trouble. You're away from health. You know? You're discard. Your health contaminated. You know? So these are things that as healers you'd pick up. And these are the things that we're trying to filter down to the next generation and the unborn generation.
Are you passing this knowledge down, Reggie? You say your son is starting to work with you.
He's starting to work with me, but it's a process on the way. It's not a one-night show. It's not a overnight thing. It's a time process. And I need to get it out here because I just cannot keep it. For me to have this, it's rewarded, yes. It's rewarding in the sense that I believe it's a gift bestowed, and my grandparents and my elders and them, they had this, and I am one that receive. I receive it. I believe it's a relay, and I need to take it out of me and pass it on to someone that needs it. But how do I know? How can I identify? We are thirst for knowledge, but how many of us young people are thirst for knowledge? You know, I went to Aunt Barbara and I started doing work with her, and she said, "You want to become a healer?" I never asked myself to become a healer. I love the work, you know. So you have to have one passion. You have to have the gift is so the inner gift and the self, the work and the inner gift comes from within me. The work that I'm doing comes from within me. I do it because it's something that I love to do. And so I want to see that people do the right thing. And when I see them not doing the right thing, I try to educate them. or try to make them knowledge. Because if people don't know, they do. But if they know, they take time not to do, even if they want to research.
I like to what you said just now, doing the right thing. What would you say is doing the right thing? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Doing the right thing is to acknowledge self and knowing that you have been existing. You're a living organism. God have created you for a purpose, and you have been existing. But you just exist because you want to exist. You exist to station life. And the purpose of stationing life is to make sure that if anything comes to destruct or destroy or to take you away from health, which produce life, you don't want to be with it. Those are the bad things. And on the reverse side of that, you know what are the good things to do. You try to do good to self and do good to others. And if you see others doing bad to self, you have to make a difference. Explain the difference. Let people know what you know that they shouldn't do that you are doing. You know, things like this are very important. And this is why I said I'm like a hub. I'm a teacher or a mentor, or I'm a traditional healer, whatever you want to call me. I don't have no problem. The thing is that knowledge have imparted to me, and I should depart knowledge. I just shouldn't just selfishly run and keep what I have in me. It's embedded in me, but I need to get it out.
I notice a sign up there says the key to a healthy lifestyle is to apply a proper diet and exercise in moderation. Now, maybe we could break that down a little bit and say, okay, I want a healthy lifestyle, but what exactly you mean when you put a proper diet and then you can go into exercise in moderation?
The first thing I would say that you change self, because you cannot make a change if you don't change self.
Proper diet. What's a proper diet?
A proper diet is just to consume more, whatever you need to consume daily, you consume it in moderation. The Creator have put us here on earth, and He said, go on out and eat from these plants. They are for healings of the nation. In fact, He leave us with three. He created three living organisms: plant, animal, and human. Those are the three living organisms. And primary is plant. Primary is human. Secondary is plant. And then third comes animal. We are plant. We are human. We and plant have the closest similarity. We have a carbon dioxide and a oxygen exchange. So it means that whatever the plant have to offer us, we have to offer that plant. So we must eat plant. And if we eat plant, we are more health composed. We are more health aware. We are more health organized. And if we don't eat inclusive plant and we eat animal, we would consider to be very carnivorous. An animal could have an inferior and an unhealthy lifestyle, and it's transferred to the human body. And these are where sickness and illness come about. And then when you consume things in excess, that cause more problem. You're like a walking time bomb. And so I'd say that because we have a common role to play with the plant, we must be inclusive plants, and then that will keep us together. What plant offer? Plant offer as primary, medicine, and as secondary, food. So be medicine and food. When you apply yourself to plant, you're treating yourself. You're getting medicine without you even conscious. You're getting medicine. But we just have to do this in moderation. We don't know how much we eat and where we eat from and all of them things. That we just have to consume a little bit of whatever is offered from plants, a little bit at a time, and don't be ignorant. Regarding exercise, remember we were on the key to a healthy lifestyle is to apply a proper diet and exercise in moderation. You do apply a proper diet and consume things in moderation and try to be plant inclusive, but exercise is a necessity. You cannot go on just eating, and if you're able, you should exercise. If you're not able, then it's a different thing. But exercise is key because sometimes we're flip and we don't know where we at, and because of exercise, we have what you call our sweat glands, and then that takes out some of the toxin out of the body. So if you inclusively consume a lot of meat, or you overload in different areas and get in excess of certain things, the body have a tendency to waste it away, because we have a porous system and we sweat it out. And so sometimes people do hurt themselves through exercise. I believe that exercise intensively is for an athlete. I believe that if you take in a loaded meat protein, or you take in excess inside the body and you want to build muscle, that's where you exercise very hard, because you sweat it out and you turn all that protein that the body accumulate into muscle. All right, so it's a good thing for people that is very athletic, or people that works out to exercise hard. But you, the average person, does not need to exercise very hard. You just need to take up your heart rate 1 time per day. You just need to do a brisk walk, walking from here to maybe town instead of catching the bus, or instead of throwing down back in your vehicle. You take an early morning walk, and you can do everything that you normally do for the day, because you have took that early morning walk. You have gone through a brisk walk, and then you have took up the heart rate and bring it back down. And maybe during the course of the day, maybe you do that 2-3 times more if you're very active.
Up and down the stairs, yeah.
Right, when you go up and down the stairs, it's altitude, so you get a good exercise there too. Maybe you do that right at home. Maybe you don't want to go exercise. Maybe you have fear that maybe you go to early in the morning to exercise. You know, people might want to do you this, that, whatever. I am a person that goes out every morning. At 5, I'm gone. And I come back at 6, and I go do my exercise. You know, and I just don't do the brisk walk. I do walk, jog, and run. But I just don't do it all at once. I start out doing walking, then I jog, then I run. Then I come back from run, then I jog, then I do walk. But that's for me. But you don't have to do that. You could just do a walk from here to maybe downtown and come back, or a mile or half mile or 3/4 of a mile. And you do that 1 time for the day.
That will keep the body in motion.
That is keeping the body in motion, and that is giving you a little sweat. As much as you might think that it's not necessary, it is.
We wrap up our discussion with Regie Hamilton after we hear from our partners, the Barry, Shell Belize Limited, Honorable Kevin Bernard, and the Belize Tourism Board.
The people of Santa Marta had a chance to voice their concerns and shape the future of their village with Honorable Kevin Bernard's recent consultation.
I want to thank each and every one of you who came out today to voice your concerns and to address the many issues raised today at our Santa Marta consultation and clinic day. We discussed very critical issues, including land, health, education, road infrastructure, which are all important matters that we can address together. And I am committed to ensuring that we can move Santa Marta forward.
Yo le doy las gracias porque siempre él ha estado para nosotros.
Está claro que estamos viendo el trabajo que nuestro honorable Kevin Bernard está haciendo en nuestra aldea.
Honorable Kevin Bernard is a dedicated public servant who is committed to improving the lives of his constituents. He has a proven record of delivering results and fighting for the people he represents. Thank you, Honorable Kevin Bernard, for your leadership and for being a voice for the people of Santa Marta. Together, we can build a better future for all of us.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
Savor every moment.
Experience our country. Go the extra mile.
And just dive in.
We are Belizean travelers. Are you?
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
Now I'm looking behind you now, and I can see the breakdown to an overhaul treatment. Maybe we could have walked me through that. I guess you might have to stand up for look on that, not true?
No, I have it all in my brain.
You got it in your mind? All right, I
was
must be wrong then, make I see, because...
I have that all in my brain. But
Okay, the breakdown to an overhaul treatment, and you're saying, well, let's go through the. You have stage 1 right through to 5, right? So let's go through the stages now.
Quick fast, let me say this. I set that up about over 20 years now. That breakdown to a full overhaul treatment, and I set that up especially for people that want to go on a diet, or want to do some exercise, or want to know what they can do to better their health. So if you had been to a doctor or you hadn't been to a doctor, it's good that you go to the doctor and find out certain things, because when I apply you that treatment, I want to know that everything on that treatment is well received, and it's received, and it will do betterment for health.
So you're saying, though, Regie, to clarify again, that before you come and say, I want an overhaul treatment from Regie, you got to bring the position that you are in from a certified medical doctor. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
So that you know exactly what it is the person needs.
Man, somehow we not do this, right? But we supposed to deal with we internal doctor at least once a year. If you don't have the money to do it, you could, I don't know if they have any HI where you could go and take one full body check or whatever if you do it private. But it only serves good for you to do a full body check for yourself to know exactly where you are. That gives you a way to say that, okay, I am weak in this or I'm strong in this. And then that gives me an idea now. When you come to me now and I do an interview, I'll tell you, all right, you need to go back to your diet and reverse your diet. You need to start to exercise. Those are the key things for healthy lifestyle and deal with healthy lifestyle practices. And then you want to do a detox now if you're not healthy. And when you need to do a detox, I am here to take you through the process of a detox. If you don't need to really do anything, you don't have to do anything. But when I get your bill of health, or when you come back and said you want to do maybe an exercise, you want to start on the exercise, I want to tell you, just run through this detox treatment. Yeah, it want to help you. If your body want to help you, if you're okay, it works as a defense towards your body. All right? So what is number 1 of the treatment? Is 5 steps.
5 steps.
Number 1 is to break down heat and acid. It's more if the body is high in acid, you have more stuff in there that is alkaline, and those stuff will break down the heat and the acid of the body. I refer to it as a cooling pack. It is to consume moderately, just 1 little liter with a time span. I'll explain all of that when I give you it, or when I put it on a product. I'll explain all of that and tell you to drink it like a half glass or a glass every hour for the next day. You have a whole day. Man, you take half case of beer, you drink out that in an hour. Why you can't take one neutral liquid to help you better your health and consume it within a day, a whole day, 1 liter within a whole day. So I tell you, for argument's sake, right, so I tell you for argument's sake, take a liter of this liquid and still drink your water that you normally drink for the day. And that will do good flow for me, because when you drink the liquid and you drink water, it will flush out the toxin from the body, or it will clear up the body. In this case, I'm referring to as the high acid and heat inside the body, and that also includes building up or reducing the bilirubin level.
What would be some of what would be some of the symptoms you would feel when you are in that condition with excess heat in the body?
When you in that condition, like I said, we have a sweat glands. Your body easy to be heated. It's not only for a female that going through a menopause that will tend to have hot flashes. Your body extremely heated based on whatever you consume. if you consume a lot of pepper, if you consume a lot of things that is acidus to the body, tomatoes, you crave these things and you just don't get the antioxidant, you just don't get the electrolyte, you just don't get whatever needs to cool down the body, you just don't get sufficient alkaline inside the body. Your body will tend to be extremely heaty. In other words, I'm saying too, likewise, that people do not consume the amount of water they should be consuming for the day. 6 to 8 glasses of water, 3/4 gallon of water per day, and they just don't do that. Sometimes you have people drinking half glass of water all throughout 24 hours, and that is bad for health. You see, so that will reduce the acid and the heat from the body, and that is a prime. I refer to that as a prime.
Step 2 then.
Yeah, and that the effects of it will be frequent urinal. So if you're the retain urine, you want to make your flow be better. You want to flush out the toxin out of the body.
So you got excess urination there.
Right. The number 2 is what we call a cleanse. Now everybody know this because then enough of them family, everybody family, there was a grandmother and a grandfather in existence. And I remember that my grandmother used to give me my cup full, and even though I want to go spit it out at the back door, I can't go do that because I want to get double dose. So we call that one purge.
Castor oil and senna.
We call that one purge. Yeah, you could be castor oil in a warm water, it could be senna salt, it could be one detox with the apasote and the jackass bitter with the pissa bed, whatever it is. It could be the sarso with something else, but it's a detox, it's a flush out. And we have a way of preparing this stuff as healers. If you go from here to any part of the world, they got a thing that they call a colon cleanse.
Colon cleanser.
Right. They have a colon cleanse, and it's just a natural wring out of the digestive system to enhance the colon, to take the load away from the colon, and so that the colon becomes more accessible and do the work that it's cut out to do. After the food passes through its digestive system and it connects and it goes to blood, and the kidney and the liver do the work, then you flush out these impurities, and when you get rid of these impurities, you get light. The word is less sluggish. So we used to that because we grandparents used to apply. We want clean out when summer come. So we know about it. I know like we don't know about it, but just that people have dropped the ball. Some parents have dropped the ball, I say, and they don't apply these things anymore. Some of them not even pass it down or teach it to younger.
How often do you just clean out them?
I would advise that a person do a cleanse once every 9 months. You see how far that is? Once every 9 months. If you eat and drink every day and you stay inclusive plants, you don't really need to do it. You just need to do a water fast. So you just need to do a fast because it's a natural way of detoxing the body too. But if you know that you're eating meat, you eat overload, you eat all kind of thing, you eat what you like, watch your lifestyle, you just the do it, you party, you drink beer, you drink stout, you drink, I always tell people when I talk about their health, I know they touch them because I want to touch them. I know they stop them from doing what they used to do, what they like to do. I'm just saying that you have to give the body some kind of attention at some point in time. Otherwise, the body want talk to you, So that is too. We call it one detox, one purge, you flush out. So get rid of the impurities. So again, physical renewal.
And the third one is defense tea pack, right?
When you get 1 and 2, you get a physical renewal. So number 3 is at defense tea. The purpose of number 2 was have a diuretic form. The effects of number 2 is that have a diuretic form. It's going to flush you out, so you put you through on diarrhea. So when it come, you might not know. So you have to keep engaged to a restroom. That is number 2. Number 3 is a rejuvenating tea. When you done broke down with 1 and 2, your body feel weak because you have get rid of bad bacteria. And bad bacteria have whole of strength within our body. It's a bacteria fighting against bacteria inside the body. You see? So those have whole of strength. So when you, especially if you're not on any vitamins or any supplement, then you need to get in that tea because that tea is referred to as a natural form of supplement. So that they saw the fever grass one come in, that they saw the provision one come in, that they saw the lime leaf one come in, that they saw the sour sap leaf one come in. So I give you a defense tea. And that's one of Regie's tea that sells all over the world.
Okay. So Reggie, what would you say to multivitamins?
Multivitamins are just added for people that have short or people that is not following their daily values and getting the sufficient of what they're supposed to get. to have a daily value in place. So the supplement is very good. And if you're getting it, if you're getting what your daily values call for, a little bit of everything from the 6-food group, then the vitamins is also good because it replaces whatever is lost during the time. Remember, when you get up, you're active and you're moving around. So
multivitamin a day
is very good. It's good all the time. It's very good to get multivitamin. I recognize vitamins and supplements as I drink my teas because, like I said, these are natural form of supplement. And these have their way of doing the same. It's inside the herbs. So, but understanding that is another thing. But I understand because I'm in the medicine field. Yeah. You know, so that is 3. That's a rejuvenating tea. It builds you up. So when you finish with 3, it's 4. Now check this one out.
The blood purifier and cleanse. No?
The blood purifier and cleanse. The blood purifier and cleanse goes straight directly to the liver. The liver is a purifying and filtrating organ for the blood that get rid of the toxin from the blood. And so once the blood is contaminated, it means that the liver also is contaminated. And so, and not only contaminated, but the liver, the blood is also built up of inflammation. You get a built up of inflammation, the blood get rich and it get thick. Some of us have an O positive blood type, which is a commonly known blood around. It's one of the best blood for human. Right? But how do we know when to cut off and when to put on? We consume too much of iron. A person with an O positive blood type is simply saying to me that you have what it takes whenever you consume stuff for your body to break down or disintegrate or break down the food value and turn it into blood very rapid because it's one of the fastest match working blood. And so because you have that blood, you don't want to be eating rich and eating rich and eating rich and eating rich. Because you eat rich, the blood get thick. You eat rich, the blood get thick. More iron, more protein, richer, thicker blood. And so when the blood gets richer and thicker and richer and thicker, it have a tendency to clot. And so if we compound iron, meaning that we get too much iron, the blood will get clot and then the circulation will slow down. And then you go in at the backyard for cardiac. And then you go in at the backyard for cardiac and now only cardiac, but all of these other blood conditions, osteoporosis, all of these other blood conditions, will be filtering into your bloodstream, into your body.
What about B positive, those who are B positive?
You have different blood, which is unusual, but even if you have a rare blood, it is good for you to do a blood cleanse, because what a blood cleanse will do is to take away the toxin from the blood and enhance the liver, which is the filtrating organ for the blood. It will help that organ to do its proper work that it cut out to do. So it applies to any blood. Some of them have hepatitis and all of that. It's very good to clean out the blood. And when you go back sometimes to your doctor said, well, your blood was contaminated and you had a hepatitis, this, that, and no, it's different. Your numbers are different. That's the purpose of doing checks with your doctor. So we go from 4 and we go to 5. The effects of 4 was,
detox.
The effects of 4 was a mild lax effect. So the 2 liquid that has a lax effect would be number 2 and number 5. So number 5 is what you call a cold detox. The purpose of a cold detox is to detox the mucus from the body, is to arrest, uproot, and discharge. That is my layman terms of defining what is a detox, a cold detox. Is to arrest, uproot, and discharge the mucus from the body. Sometimes we get mucus based on our intake. In most instances, some people like this, and they want hear that I mention this. You consume a lot of dairy product, animal processing, a lot of egg, milk, cheese. Fine, egg, milk, cheese, I love it too. But too much of it is bad. The body says the daily value is calling for calcium. Calcium is a part of our daily values. Orange, the body does not store vitamin C. It utilizes it every day. That's also you can consume.
So you should eat orange, things like orange.
It's good, but you have to eat everything in moderation. So you just need one orange for the day. You don't need one whole gallon of orange for the whole day. Yeah. You want to make the body very acidic because the orange good for you. You utilize it every day, waste it away, but then the body become acidic because the orange have acid in it. You understand? So you don't want to overeat it. It's just like these things. You want to consume these dairy product, the egg, the milk, the cheese, the chocolate, the whatever, in moderation, a little bit, and let it go. Because those are also the building block for mucus. And when you consume excess calcium, mucus is definitely going to take its way in, find its way in. And so when the lungs have excess mucus, it slows up our respiratory system. So when we want to breathe in and breathe out, we can't breathe in and breathe out because we have a thing, a tube in us, we call it bronchial tube. It is to help the lungs alleviate some of the problem with the respiration or the respiratory system. And so when the bronchial tube is clogged or blocked with mucus, it slows down our circulation for breathing. So we don't breathe properly, and then the lungs start to go into laboring because of the mucus that exists within that part of the body. And so we don't get a good flow. You walk up one simple example of that is that you walk up one step and you start to blow, or you walk from to the lane fast and you start to blow, that because then the lungs need to be treated. Right. And so the detox, like I said, the definition of that is to arrest, uproot, and discharge. So the detox will be to flush out the system, you see? And when you get rid of the mucus, the respiratory system is different. The thyroid gland is different, and so we have less problem with the mucus, and we have a better flow and a better understanding about how we must do and what we must do to avoid our lungs from being laboring or being intact with mucus. And mucus is one of the things that keeps you away from an operation if the doctor want to operate you, and it's also one of the things that keep you away from sexually performed. Yes, because the mucus is there. It goes for male and female. So it's a good thing to do a detox. So this is a detox treatment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've set this up over 20 years. But how many people might have not known about a detox treatment? Barely anybody know about a detox treatment.
Like you told me earlier when we started to go through this detox phrases here, right. You told me that you need to come with your doctor analysis, your right. Clinical analysis, yes. Meaning where your blood levels are and yes. The different body organ responses are.
When you go to the doctor have what they call a X-ray. If there's an emergency, then they run an X-ray on whatever damage you got. And outside of an X-ray, it'd be a diagnosis of what you call ultrasound. They do an ultrasound. Yeah. This ultrasound will tell you, right, they have so many different tests, but this ultrasound would normally tell you what is wrong, and then they have a conclusion from that ultrasound drawn, from that test that they do. And when you go to the doctor, if you know to read an ultrasound or an X-ray, for argument's sake, because you might be in the school of science, or you might know where the doctor, different terminology where the doctor use and different things, you could ask your doctor, sit down in front of your doctor and say, "Doctor, what this mean? What this mean? What happened to me?" And the doctor will tell you, "Well, this is what happened to you." And then when you come to Regie, you could tell me exactly what the doctor tell you. But I go to the doctor and the doctor say my blood too thick and I need to purify it, give me some aspirin. And tell her, "All right, no problem, dig." And tell her my lifestyle. And then through my interview, I know what part you there. And I want to take you health-wise forward. Because I don't know where you're there, and I know where you need to go. But I can't carry you forward if you know. If I don't know. You see?
Regie, before we leave, I noticed that you have several packaged herbs that I can see here. I can see one marked Spanish medicine, cold detox packs, blood cleanse pack, the defense tea pack, and the clean out pack. These are the same things we are talking about, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But yes. Roll number 9, play.
Number 9 is the 9 Spanish medicine after birth cleanse. And I don't want to elaborate much on it, but it's a natural process that a woman go through 9 months of before giving birth. and then they have what you have sinews. Their reproductive system need to be cleansed and need to be clean. And so when they come and they get the 9 Spanish medicine from me, or they buy it from the drugstore, in some instances I have it selling at the drugstore, Waiver Pharmacy, and maybe another one in Belmopan. They purchase it, and when they purchase it, they go and consume it. It's just simply to get the sinews back together, because they have a ovulation and a regulation through cycle. And they need to clean the body, so that the unborn child, now the born child, need to get feeding from the mother through breastfeeding. And so some of the complications and some of the problem that the mother might have had is waste away within the consumption of that 9 Spanish medicine, and it's filtered off or treated to the infants through breastfeeding. And when the kid receive the breast milk, they get a nourished and healthy breast milk. And so there tend to be less gases spell built up. There tend to be less puffiness and diarrhea, because some of them have loose stool and all of these things. And through feeding infancy, the infant feed through the mother by breast. And through feeding, all of these things comes on. Sometimes the baby can have a bad eye. People go and look, and they go and have a fear, and then they go and look at the child, and the navel string started to bleed and replicate and different things like that. So that is the purpose of the 9 Spanish medicine.
Then the other bag there, that's...
This is a bitters.
Those are bitters you can...
Yeah, this is a bitters for male. We call this for the man. Now I'm famous for this, because then Belizean come and go to the United States, and one of the first things they want to carry back to a bottle of roots. But we cannot no longer do it in the bottle for health. The bottle is good because it's glass. But since 9/11, I think the standard have changed or risen, that a bottle become a weapon, because that's glass. It can easily be break. So you have to take this in the pop.
So I can take this to the U.S. the way it's packaged?
This is the way it's packaged to take to the U.S. And when they take it to the U.S., they're going to transfer it to a bottle. But I no longer cannot send it off to the U.S. like this.
This is a walk-in, right? I mean, you can walk in and purchase this particular...
Yeah, you can walk in and purchase it, fine. But you just don't walk and purchase it, because I need to understand that the need for this.
So you won't sell it unless you know there's a need for it.
I would need to understand who you're buying it for, stuff like that I would ask, because I just don't want to give you a bottle of roots. For instance, I can give you a bottle of roots, and then you are a young adult, and I can't sell you nothing, and then maybe you pass it on to a 14-year-old. I no way could say make you dispense that to a 14-year-old. He might send somebody older to purchase it, but then that he want it. You understand me? And then the person, and then they tag off, and then they know where they go on, and they receive it, and 14-year-old get one of my product. That is not good for me. One next thing is that when you're up in age, I wouldn't give you the same thing that an average person would get. I would make a special bitters for you. If you're up in age, you 60, 70, I'd make you a special mix, because it's then that you have problem with your prostate or different things. And this go for male and female. The female, they go through their life changes, and they want to have like maybe a menopause pack, or they want to consume something for the reproductive system. One of the thing is that the 9 Spanish medicine is also good for that, because that make them more fertile too, because it cleanses the reproductive system, so that make them more fertile. So they're male and female in this product, and then you can consume them when you receive them. But I'd have to see the need for you to...
Bottom line, when you consider Regie, better come with a medical analysis, or you know exactly what your condition is at, so you can
to me, so that I can make a choice for betterment of health. Okay. Yeah, that is the way that work.
Then I notice over here you have your teas. The teas, this different, right? Because this you can just...
These are all teas up here, and I will refer to them as assorted. I won't take anyone in particular, because taking one, I will have to elaborate again. So I will cut that short, but these are assorted teas. So all the teas are recognized as supplement, and Belizean, they drink coffee. And they know they drink black tea, like back in the days when my granny used to apply. They know they drink fever grass.
So
but
fever grass and moringa and ginger. So I could just walk in and say, Regie, I want a fever grass, moringa thing, and you tell me
I can send that across the board to anyone.
Okay.
because the teas are recognized as a supplement, and it's just a natural way to consume teas. So it's no problem for you to consume teas. All of these other products, like a diabetic pack is here, a high blood pressure pack is here, a cycle pack is here for female that go through cycle-related problem. This is what you call a blood rush. This is turmeric in liquid. This is a turmeric
this can
liquid.
be dispensed just like that, or
right,
or
that can be consumed. It's something to help with the blood.
But again, I need to bring my condition.
Not really. This can be consumed by anyone, any adult.
This is not
any adult.
And then this is where you got your
This is my tonic bitters. It's the
by any
bitters.
person?
Is the bitters is a product of this one. So as if a person do not want to get it in the dry form, they can have it in the liquid form. You know.
And you have a recipe for it, or how much you
I have
drink?
the
How much you
recipe
drink?
for it.
I mean,
well, normally I tell you it's a shot glass over it. See, I put like normally it's a shot glass, and I tell you exactly how much for you to consume throughout a day. It's just to take it in moderation and shot. Don't drink up all of this to your head.
Yeah, exactly.
These are noni too. These are the natural form of noni. You see, it's a process. I give you.
So
and you follow.
these you sell without really.
Yeah, because those are stuff that would not tend to damage you, with the exception of this to take it up to your head. Because you take this up to your head because of the amount of herbs inside it, you wouldn't want to do it. It's too potent for the liver.
Okay.
You know?
All right, well.
And so we have, and underneath there is oils, but these are for external application. Like maybe the masseuse and different people want to do oils and do massage and so on and get the points and so on. They would normally tend to take the oil and do the massages. You know?
Then you collect stones too. You collect stones, Reggie?
Well, those are for the beauticianists. These are volcanic stone. We call them pumice stone, right? And then when they go to they do the nails, manicure and pedicure. They do the nails and fine up the nails and they polish it. But then they give an oil treatment with the hot water and things like that to get the nails smooth and get the dead skin off and things like that. So the pumice stone sells here too.
Well, Reggie, unfortunately, time does not allow us to continue our conversation. But thank you so much. Is there anything quickly that you'd like to tell me that did not come out while we were talking?
Well, Mr. Rene, if I may, I would say thank you very much. You're warmly welcome at any time. You can do other follow-up shows and different things if you may. At any given time, I can make myself available. If I have anything that doesn't come out, I think I give a lot of information that really needs to be here. And if I continue on, I can take another day to do a show. Another day to do a show is because of time constraint wouldn't work out. But what I would like to say to people, Belizean at home and abroad, is that I remember Dr. Bulwa, one of my friends, he's now in Boston. He had a book out that he says, "You can be your own doctor." Yeah, fine, you can be your own doctor, but you have to understand that there are people in places, and then you have to follow the model. And the model is to transfer the knowledge to other people for betterment of health. And you want to be better, so you have to change yourself. You have to change yourself through diet. You have to do what is necessary for you and follow the model so that the model could be passed on from one generation to another generation.
The main thing, Reggie, is to learn to love ourselves so that we can love others as we love ourselves, right?
Right.
But you know what? We know love is a choice, right? It's a choice that we all make, to love, right? It's the best choice you can ever make, Reggie. You follow love, the passion and the love for herbs and what have you, and that have led you to become the successful person that you have become. But it's all because you love what you are doing, right? So when we choose to love, we always say at our station, you know what we say, Reggie? What we say? Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love. You want to say it to me, Reggie?
Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love. And I portray love, so, Belize and beyond, people, thanks for choosing love.
All right. Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what?